Ladies and gentlemen, cancel culture strikes again. We'll call this Joe Rogan Part 2, except with a whole new cast of characters. It's not Joe Rogan, and it's not the Spotify employees. So let me slow down, tell you what's going on. You guys all remember the Joe Rogan Spotify debacle. Joe Rogan went from YouTube to Spotify, got paid $100 million by Spotify to transfer over there specifically to that platform for his Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and the Spotify employees went nuts.
For the moment, step solution for the inaugural address.
Adjust the microphone as you talk, man. With a gracious aid.
Classic. All right. So Spotify employees went bananas, had 10, 15 meetings with the CEO and the upper management to get Joe Rogan. They wanted him removed, edited all the stuff. He all of a sudden was a phobe and an ist and an ism, and it was hate speech. And basically the CEO was like, listen, I just paid this guy $100 million to come over here. You guys be grateful that you have a job in the middle of a pandemic where you make almost six figures a year, which I think is the average income over at Spotify. It's like $90,000 for the regular employees, which is pretty good company to work for. So basically the CEO probably was like, listen, be grateful or bounce. I'll find someone to replace you like that. Probably not so many words. Anyway, it was basically just shut down. They let him cry and whine and screech and holler. And it was all for the simple fact that Joe Rogan had differing opinions than they did, or he had people on his podcast that had differing opinions than them. And with these cancel culture, SJW crazy people, that's not okay. It's hate speech. It's phobic. It's you're an ist. Like I said, it's all those things. So, who is the newest target of the SJW cancel culture? These woke people are going after none other than Jordan Peterson. Oh, Jordan. Was gone from the limelight for a little over a year. Comes back, getting attacked all over again. All right, before I get into this story real quick, guys, listen. My goal is to hit 100 subscribers by Christmas. I've got 39, 40 subscribers right now. Super grateful for each and every one of you. I got some great people subscribed to my channel that, comment on these videos, some real positive stuff. And those are the comments that keep me going. So I'm super grateful for each and every one of you guys. So do me a favor, help me hit that goal. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, turn that notification bell on so you know when I make new videos. Listen, the world has gone crazy. It's turned upside down. There's so much to talk about. And I'm going to bring it to you guys with common sense and logic, truth and facts. That's the perspective I'm coming with. I'm not a big political scholar. I'm not a conservative, right-wing, or a liberal, Democrat, left-wing, or anything like that. Just common sense and logic. So that's what you like to hear. Hit the subscribe button. Join me on this journey. Let's talk about Jordan. Okay, let's see what it says here. Penguin Random House employees broke down in tears at the thought of publishing Jordan Peterson's next book. They broke down in tears. Oh my. Jesus, holy sweet Jesus. Those Penguin Random House employee meetings are something else. Christ, I couldn't take much more of that. Oof, okay, so it's... Oh, geez, what is going on? All right, it says he's an icon of hate speech and transphobia. Yeah, of course, just like everybody else, just like Joe Rogan, right? This is crazy. Listen, I like Jordan Peterson. Very smart guy. Very good motivational speaker. So this is his second book. The first book that he wrote, this is kind of a continuation on that. So the first book was Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. And from what I haven't read it, from what I've heard, it was a fantastic book. Sold a lot of copies, made a lot of money. So it's kind of the same situation as Spotify. You've got Penguin Random House getting ready to publish Jordan Peterson's next book and make a shit ton of money on it. But then you have to deal with,
I f***ing hate you! Why can't women have abortions? I just saw the pro-life sign driving down the road. What? It's a baby! Bitch, I was born and I can feel pain. I wish I wasn't born! You're stupid! And I was conversation about dismantling the two-party system when a fascist is notification Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Could this year get any worse? You just had to make it to 2020 with John. He is a monster.
they really don't like Jordan, do they? Okay, let's read the story, guys. For you, those of you guys that don't know, Jordan Peterson had a really tough, past year and a half. So he kind of disappeared from the limelight. Nobody really knew what was going on with him. He was coming off benzodiazepines. He was prescribed by his doctor benzos. I don't know if it was, I think it was Klonopins. And he stopped taking them. And he went into horrible withdrawals and detox from them. And it literally, he had to go to a detox in Russia. His family sent him all over to these different facilities to try to get him well. And me personally, I've said in a few of my past videos that I'm a recovering addict. I was prescribed every medication out there. I was using every drug out there. I was prescribed heavy, heavy, heavy doses of benzodiazepine Xanax for years. So it coming off of those things, it was, Jordan says it too. I watched an interview. It's absolute hell. And it took me well over a year and a half to get feeling any semblance of normal again. So I feel for him. I know exactly what he went through, and it's just hell. So, and when he was going through that, he ended up getting the kung flu as well. So that must have just been, he was just, and he started taking the benzodiazepines because his wife was diagnosed with cancer, and he's having a hard time dealing with that. So he's just been going through hell. God bless him. He came out of it, working on another book, and this is what he has to deal with. On Monday, Penguin Random House announced it would publish a sequel to 12 Rules of Life, the best-selling self-help book by Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson. So he's got a best-selling self-help book. And so, real quick, before I read the rest of it, what kind of skyrocketed Jordan Peterson into the limelight was back when Canada was trying to make these laws that if you didn't call people, I don't know, it was for transgenders, if you didn't call them by their certain pronouns or recognize as, I think he was a college professor, and they were trying to tell him that he had to call these people, and he was against it. He said, "You're infringing on my free speech. Like, you can't tell me what I have to say. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to, cause anyone harm. But how are you going to tell me that I have to say this when it's not real?" I mean, so that kind of got him in the limelight as a controversial figure, a provocateur, whatever you want to say. I mean, people call him this right-wing, far-right, obviously white supremacist, transphobe, racist, all this other crazy nonsense. And he's the farthest from, if you've never seen Jordan Peterson, go look up some of his speeches and talks and debates and things on YouTube. He's a brilliant man. Seems like a really nice guy, very smart, very successful. So in response, several employees of the publishing giant broke down crying. They broke down crying. And no, these weren't happy tears due to the prospect of selling so many books. So they weren't like, yes, we're going to kill it. We're going to kill it with this one. We're going to sell a shitload of books and make a shitload of money. No, they broke down crime because it was Jordan Peterson. And guess what? Just publish the book. You don't have to read it. If Joe Rogan's podcast is on, you don't like it, just don't listen to it. It's that simple. Okay, it says here, he's an icon of hate speech and transphobia, and the fact that he's an icon of white supremacy, regardless of the content of his book, I'm not proud to work for a company that publishes him. A young LGBTQ employee told Vice News. Another employee said people were crying. No, they weren't. I think, like, no way. No way. This country has not, this world has not gone that soft. I don't believe it. Yes, I believe it. I believe it. It has. It's gone that soft. Another employee said people were crying in meetings because of the negative way Peterson has affected their lives. What? Listen, Jordan Peterson has affected millions of people's lives in such a positive way. What is happening? Listen, we've done flipped upside down. That's it. That's it. Right is left, up is down. All right. Several submitted complaints outraged that the company would give yet another platform to a person whose views they find toxic. Oh, so they don't agree with his views, so they're toxic, and so we can't publish it. Shut up. Quit. Fire him. Whoever owns Penguin Random House needs to say, you're all fired. You're all fired. I will get all new employees in here that will be happy to work. Peterson, a professor of psychology at the University of Toronto, is indeed controversial among progressives. He first came to the public's attention in 2016 when he criticized, this is kind of what I was trying to explain. I don't know if I did a good job at it. He first came to the public's attention in 2016 when he criticized Canadian human rights law that he said would violate academic freedom by requiring him to use trans people's preferred pronouns. Peterson claimed he would not be forced to use words that, in his view, were invented by activists. He wasn't attempting to misgender any specific trans people. So that's what it is. He just thought, and I happen to agree with most of the things I hear Jordan Peterson say. And I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. It's just there are so many words that these people say these days, these activists say, that I don't know what they mean. I'm 45 years old. I've never heard some of these things in my life. Where did they come from? And I've been around, I've never heard these words. So, he's, he says, in his view, they were invented by activists. And I absolutely feel that these people just came up with these words and said, if you don't tell me this word I just came up with, I'm going to be offended and I'm going to scream in your face. And I'm going to cause problems and I'm going to say it's hate speech you're using against me. I 100% agree with him on that. That he shouldn't have to use made up words that someone wants, I agree. I agree. Sorry, it doesn't make me a phobe or a ist or anything like that. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't believe Jordan is either. All right. Sorry, I digress. Get a little heated on that. All right. In subsequent years, he became a passionate opponent of identity politics, speech policing, and cancel culture, and is revered by many young right-of-center males. So that's basically it, guys. That's it. Cancel culture's coming at Jordan once again. Listen, he's been dealing with this stuff since 2016, so he's not scared. His book's going to get published. It's going to sell a ton of copies. He's going to make a ton of money. Penguin Random House, if they don't bend the knee like all these other companies do. Spotify didn't. But if Penguin Random House bends the knee, someone else will pick this up and make a ton of money. See, it doesn't matter. You can try to cancel someone. Ultimately, there's that saying, get woke, go broke. That seems to be what happens. Pro sports, Hollywood, it seems to be what happens. So you want to get woke. If Penguin Random House wants to get woke, they're going to lose this. They'll probably lose a lot of other authors. So hopefully the owner of Penguin Random House says, listen, you guys need to shut up and do your job or leave. You're done. That's it. You don't have to read this guy's book. You don't have to go through and, find somebody that doesn't feel this way. Let them do the editing. I don't know how it works, but these people, it's so bizarre to me. It's so bizarre to me that we're in a place where somebody can have 10, 15 meetings at Spotify to try to get Joe Rogan canceled, who is not, not, never spoke out in any way to harm anybody. Didn't matter if they're race, sexual orientation, any of that stuff. And Jordan Peterson, I feel the same way. He's the same way. But cancel culture strikes again. This woke SJW nonsense. It's getting so old, but at the same time, it's just so crazy that it's hysterical. It's so like these people are so bizarre. It's bizarre. I don't get it. Like I don't know. I hope it all works out. I think Jordan Peterson's gonna be all right. I just can't believe what this world comes to, everybody. All right, that's it. That's my rant for now. Like I said, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Join me on this dirty. The world's gone crazy, so we got a lot to talk about. All right, guys, listen. Everybody, have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy life. I'm not going to give you advice one way or another on the whole Kung Flu, but just enjoy life. You can't live your life in fear, so enjoy yourselves regardless of what you do. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Just live an honest life and help other people out, and you're going to do okay. Peace.